Hey, hey, TGIT. Thank God it's today. How's my tribe doing? It's a beautiful day here in Texas. It is 97 degrees and it's just gorgeous. I think there's like a tropical depression coming in. So there's a lot of rain heading this way, like towards South Texas especially. But I'm soaking up every little bit of the sunshine I can get while I have it. And of course, it's today, so I'm so grateful. So how are you? Hey guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on with me. I'll wait a minute for you guys to hop on. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching on the replay. And if you share this, thank you for sharing it. Thank you for those little bubble likes. Thumbs up to you too. All my heart to you also. All right, so I'm gonna tell you guys a little story back from my past, back from my childhood, okay? So I've told you guys before, I'm from Southeast Arkansas, from a small town, and I did not grow up, from a wealthy family. Like, we were just the average normal family, and but the one thing, my dad may not have been the richest man in town, but my dad, had his name. He was respected. Everybody knew my daddy, and he was just a very loved man. Like, I don't know a person that didn't love my daddy, but I loved him most. Sorry, everybody else. Daddy's girl, his baby doll. That's what he called me, his baby doll. But yeah, like, that man would give you the shirt off of his back, and he was so respected by everyone. And so like somebody would see me and they would go, "Oh, you're JB's daughter." And I would be like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We know those little squinty eyes, those are JB's eyes." And I'm like, "Yep, that's my daddy." And I mean, seriously, like from the time I can remember, from as soon as I can remember, I was by that man's side. And this is so cute. I just thought of this too. He used to have this truck. Well, he had several trucks, but whenever I was little, like the first memories that I have of him were he would pick me up and put me in his truck. And back then, we didn't have car seats and we didn't even wear seat belts. Were there seat belts back then? If there were, I don't remember them because we didn't wear them. So anyway, he would pick me up to put me in the truck, and I would always bump my head, and he would say, "Uh-oh, bumped her noggin," every time. And then I would stand up on the seat beside him and like put my arm around his neck and ride shotgun right beside him. Like, oh man, I miss him. It's gonna make me tear up. So here's a story. This is so funny. So I remember I was like 16 and I was driving through town, and I was going down this 2-lane, it's a one-way, but there are 2 lanes, and I was over the speed limit by just a couple of miles, like I think 5, so maybe 40 and a 35, let's say. And of course, blue lights, and I get pulled over, and I was like, wait, what? I had never been pulled over, and it was a young new cop. And so anyway, he pulls me over and he was like, "Well, you were speeding." And I was like, "Well, not by much. My speedometer's probably off by that. My goodness, And then he's like, "Well, you're getting a ticket." And I was like, "Do you know who my daddy is? Do you know whose daughter I am?" And he was like, "No, but you're getting a ticket." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So he gave me the ticket. He was pretty rude about it. He gave me the ticket, and I went out to my dad's shop. He had a body shop. He owned many things during the course of his lifetime, my lifetime that I shared with him. And so anyway, I pulled in and I said, "Daddy, there's a new guy, in town, a new police officer, and I got a ticket." And he said, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a ticket." And he goes, "Did you tell him whose daughter you are?" And I was like, "Daddy, I tried. He said it didn't matter. I was getting a ticket." And he was like, "That speedometer's off by 5 miles. I was like, "I know. I tried to tell him that." And he was like, "Give me that ticket. Get in the car. Let's go." So we went up to the police station, and he walked in there and he laid it on the counter, and he was like, "Why in the world would somebody give my daughter a ticket for 5 miles over and the speedometer is off? Like, I can show you. It's off." And they just laughed. The clerk laughed, and she's like, JB, this is a joke. And she ripped the ticket up and just threw it away. And I just won't ever forget that. Like, you know, it was a respect thing, but it was also just a very true thing. It was like justice was served. And then I remember, because my dad was so well known and respected in that town and loved, and, you know, everybody respected him and loved him. Like, the police would come and sit out in his office and talk to him and hang out with him, and they always looked over me and watched over me, you know, on weekends and stuff. And I would see Big Jim Sanders, and he would wave for me to come over, you know, like in this little gas station parking lot, and he'd go, "Come here." And he'd say, "What are you doing?" I'd say, "Just driving around, Big Jim." "You're not drinking, are you?" "No, sir. I'm driving, everybody." You know, and he's like, "All right, go have a good night. You know, see you next week at your dad's shop." But that's the deal. Do you know whose you are? Do you know whose you are? You're a child of the Most High God. And that's what it made me think of. Like, I was thinking back about my dad. And I was thinking about how he may not have been the richest man in town, but he was so respected. And that police officer actually came out and apologized to him, like, face to face. Like, wow, that was huge. And he was a young guy. He was like, "Well, I'm sorry, sir. You know, I didn't know the speedometer was off. And I'm sorry, I apologize, and to you and your daughter, and for scaring her and all of that." Because, yeah, anytime blue lights come on, I'm still scared. It scares me to death. Like, I'm like, I cry. I'm like, no, even if you know you're not doing anything wrong. Like, I think the last time I was pulled over, it was because there wasn't a front license plate on my car. And I was just like, what did I do? What did I do? I wasn't speeding. I didn't do anything. And he's like, "No, ma'am, but you don't have a front license plate." And I was like, "But there's not a thingy, a holder. There's not a license plate holder. How can I put it? But it's in the trunk, I promise." You know, and he was like, "Well, nice license plate, by the way," because it used to be a personalized plate that said "Ooh la la." So funny. So anyway, that's the question. Like, do you know whose you are? So in Psalm 118, I was reading, and it talks about how, you know, that God says, you know, "You're mine and I will fight for you." And it says, if God is for me, who can be against me? Why would I fear man? Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but why would I fear man? If God is for me, who can be against me? And that's what it made me think about. Like, that, I read this the other morning, and that's what I was thinking about. Like, that's exactly how God is with us. Like, you want to mess with my child when she didn't do anything, when he didn't do anything, and you want to do something like that to my child, and you tear up that ticket, because justice will be served in the end. So don't fear man, even though it may look like they are winning. You put your trust in God. It says, why would I put my trust in a man? I won't put my confidence in a man. I will put my trust in God. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do today. Let God be the one that justifies you. Let God be the one that tears up your ticket. That's what I want to share with you today. So I hope this spoke to someone today, and that you remember who you are. Remember that you're a child of the Most High. I'm a daughter of the King. He has called me from birth. He has called you. He calls us all. None of us are more special than the other. Not one. Each one of us is priceless. Each one of us means so much to him. You mean everything to him. And he will be your justice. So don't fear man. Don't fear what man can do to you. And don't worry about the justice. It's coming. If you serve the Most High, your justice is coming. I promise you. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I love you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and that you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Make the most of it. I don't care. You still have a few hours left. Go do something. Make it special. Make it count. Do something amazing. Just do something amazing. Share a beautiful, positive quote. Be kind in the world. Share a selfie. Post me a selfie with your smile. I love seeing you guys. Like, that means so much to me whenever I see you guys. So do something different. Step outside of your box, you know, like do a Facebook Live, you know, write a poem, draw a picture, share it with me. I would love to see it. I would love to hear your song, your poetry, anything like that. I'm always here. You can share it with me. I would love to share that with you. And as you see, I did my Facebook Live right where I was supposed to do it, wherever he tells me. All right, you guys. I love, love, love you. TGIT, and have a wonderful day.